Hello and welcome to the Business Spotlight interview series. I'm your host Sonali, and today I'm joined by Ellie Dunmore, MD at Penny Price Aromatherapy. Hi Ellie, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you. So would you like to kick us off with a brief background as to who you are and what you do?
Yeah, of course. My name's Ellie Dunmore. I'm the managing director at Penny Price Aromatherapy. We manufacture aromatherapy-based products for health and well-being. But initially, we actually started as a training academy. So we train clinical aromatherapists and then take them on a journey from training in clinical aromatherapy through to buying and making their own products, supporting their clients, working in hospices, in their own clinics and in other areas, right the way through to launching their own product brands.
Wow, it has been a journey. And I must tell you, while we were having this conversation before, I so wanted to ask more questions before we started the podcast, but I saved it for here. So my first thing that I wanted to know, who do you attribute your growth to?
Who do I attribute my growth to? Oh, wow. It's a whole team effort, if I'm honest with you. I work with a really fantastic team of people. The business was actually founded by my mother, Penny Price. And so the initial growth and the, inspiration for the company obviously comes from her. And although she's retired now, she's actually still downstairs at the moment. She's putting some lids on bottles for me because we're running a bit behind for the Christmas rush. And so, she and I get on so well, have a really good working relationship, which was a tricky balance to get to begin with, but we're really solid. And I think growth comes from inspiration, listening to others, looking at what's happening out there in the world as well, and really taking on board the advice that your team give you, that your peers give you, and keeping your learning up as well.
That's just brilliant. I mean, what a combination of the mother and daughter duo who has been, managing the business brilliantly. And you highlighted an important aspect about the team. So my next question will be, what qualities do you look for in an employee, and how do you foster a positive and a productive work environment?
Ah, that's a good one. So with my team, I actually go for personality um, over most things. I can help them learn the skills that they need if they don't have them. I'm quite
Mhm,
happy to train people and bring on apprenticeships and further training courses for my team. But they need to have a passion for the area that they'll be working in. So, for example, Vicky in my accounts department absolutely loves of an Excel spreadsheet. She dreams about them. They are her passion. They are what she loves to do.
right.
And through that, and through encouraging her with her job role, and linking it back to our business, she just really loves her job. And I think that when people really love their job, they get excited when you get excited with new ideas, new possibilities, and they come to you with their own, which is
Mhm.
fantastic. Because it opens up to areas that you may not have thought of before, and things you're looking to do. So definitely for me, it's a passion for the role that they're going to be working in, and
Mhm.
an enthusiasm to learn more.
Mhm.
Because I always think that people who want to learn more,
Mhm.
um, give you the best back. They
Yes,
really do.
absolutely. And what about the positive work environment? I mean, how do you foster that for, for the team to be productive and be positive at the same time? Because it's easy to lose motivation for nowadays. That's what I feel. So how do you think about this?
It is really easy to lose motivation, especially with what's been happening everywhere in the past couple of years or so, and the regrouping after COVID. I suppose the positivity comes from having a team that like each other, respect
Mm-hmm.
each other.
Mm-hmm.
We have gathered and we have created team walls. They're actually up on my office wall up there. So we've got teamship rules or rules of the game, or however you'd like to phrase them. And they are their rules. They're not mine. They're not dictated. It's very much a partnership. We meet together at least once a month in person. So anybody who does work hybrid meets all together. We have tea, we have cake. Yes, we have a bit of a meeting, but we also have a bit of a catch up as well and just check in on a personal level. Once a month, we organise going out to the local pub after work for a quick drink, and
Mhm.
that's open for anybody to join us if they wish to.
Mhm.
I also have an open door policy. So if my door's open, they can come in at any point and chat to me if they've got any queries, concerns, whether they be work related or personal.
Yeah.
If there's anything we can do to help. And I think to just keep the positivity alive, it's all about the feedback that they receive as well. So, I do send weekly emails as well to the whole company to say, what an amazing week it's been and concentrate on all those positive things that's happened. We together have achieved X, Y,
Yeah.
and Z. This is what we've done. This is what we're hoping to do next week, and reinforcing that positive message because I think it's really good for them to not only get that recognition for what they've done, but
Yeah.
if they know what they're doing next, and what the plan is moving forwards on the broader scale, obviously,
Yeah.
then they feel really happy and confident and they know what's happening.
So
So
I can
yeah.
so I can say this that this positivity is coming from the top, right, to everybody in the team. So that just adds more to it because it's coming from the top and it gets lived to everyone. So that's just amazing to hear. And because I literally want this interview to be full of learning, so everyone who's listening to this, so what if I can ask? It's almost like if I can say more than 15 years that you've been in the business. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you have overcome? You faced first, that's what I want to know. And then, how did you overcome that?
Okie dokie. Our biggest challenges have actually in most recent years, I mean, I could go back. Our biggest challenges have actually been the period with COVID, Brexit. We had products on the Suez Canal. The Ukraine situation has impacted us because they are the largest supplier of sunflower. And as an aromatherapy company, we use a lot of sunflower. And although we didn't get our sunflower from Ukraine, it
Yeah.
meant that other people started to use our sources. So there's been a lot that's happening. Obviously, during COVID, our primary goal is to educate the world on aromatherapy, and that's very difficult to do
Mm-hmm.
when you teach somebody. We can teach them the theory, but we couldn't teach the practical applications. We couldn't teach them the massage. We couldn't, have them in and have that camaraderie that we normally build up with our students. Also, our graduates who we support once they've continued their training, then they buy their products from us. They won't be able to see their clients. They
Mm-hmm.
couldn't they couldn't reach out and see anybody either. So, that had an impact. And then we also had the people that we mass manufacture for on a larger scale. So our aromatherapy based products that we make for other people with their name and logo on. They sell them in big retail outlets, and all the retail outlets were shut. So for us, it was sort of we were going along, we are doing really well. Then all of a sudden, the world stops, as it did for everybody. It really did for everybody, and but there was no arm to our business that could help us move forward, that could help us improve, and bring in those revenues where we had been bringing them in. So I think for us, it was the adaptability we had to have. So we moved a lot of our learning onto Zoom and to an e-learning platform
Mm-hmm.
with full tutor support. We branched out into the avenues. So we were already supplying the NHS with qualified clinical aromatherapists for their hospices and their hospitals and for their midwifery. So then
Mm-hmm.
it was thinking, well, what else can we do to help support them? So, what products could we develop to help them here and now to get them through this and keep everybody safe? And then it was also looking at how can I keep my team safe when they are here?
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously in a manufacturing business, I can't have them all working from home. They need to
Yes.
be here
Yeah.
to physically do the work. So it was about finding that level of safety and that pattern of shift. And that actually allowed us, in a strange way, to move forward with more growth.
Mm-hmm.
Because it enabled us to sort of look at that shift pattern and actually realize that we weren't maximizing our production to the fullest advantage.
Mm-hmm.
We were operating 9 to 5, Monday to Friday for everything. And actually, with a manufacturing shift in and having some of the team members starting slightly earlier and some finishing slightly earlier with a good crossover in between where they could hand over and help each other with other bits, it's enabled us actually to produce more and get more out the door to our customers. So it's always about finding that silver lining and how can you drive things forwards, and what can you do? And it was also it's been a great way to also explore the training opportunities for my team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so in since then we have been looking at courses that they can do, internal things, books that they might find useful to read, love a good
Mm-hmm.
book, and trying to help support them in furthering what they do. Because being a team and a small family business, we very much work together on everything. We all help each other out no matter what's going on. Like I mentioned earlier, Penny's downstairs at the moment putting lids on bottles. That's where we need help at the moment. So that's where she is. And we very much work like that. So yeah, it's brought us closer together in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
and made us realize what we need to do. So yeah, it's
I
branched
mean,
out.
as a listener myself, I feel it has been a journey. And while you were dealing with COVID, it also gave you a learning and you changed and adapted. That's what I felt while you were telling about the insight about your industry. So can I just quickly check? So if you could do it all over again, what would you do next? And what would you like to change? Or what would you like to do it differently, rather, I would say? I mean, if,
Oh, if I could do it all again from the very beginning, that's 20 years for me. So, probably, um, I don't think there's much that I would do again. There were mistakes that we've made, definitely. And it's very easy to go, do you know what? If I could go back in time, I'd change that. But actually, the learnings from those mistakes that we've made in the past, how we've dealt with them, have actually led to the team being what it is today. They've led
yeah,
to us being in the position we're in today, and they've led to the learning that we needed to be where we are.
yeah,
So it's very easy to say, oh, if I could go back, I wouldn't have done this. But actually, without
uh-huh,
that happening, we wouldn't be where we are. And I think that that's part of the positive attitude that I feel that all business owners need to have, as well, is to not to dwell on what you've done wrong, but
yeah,
also or what you would change, but also looking at actually, wow, we did it. We got through that. We made an epic, this happened, and we're here now, and we should be really chuffed with ourselves and with the people we work with. So I'm not entirely sure that there's anything I would change.
yeah,
Um, there might have been small tweaks along the way that I could have probably done better from the start, but
yeah.
nothing that really would have had a huge impact apart from me not having to redo something that I'd done wrong, maybe.
Ellie, you are filled with positivity. I mean, I could sense it from the start, but I think my viewers can also sense it with the way you have dealt with this question. So we have talked about your business, we talked about your team. Can I quickly focus about your personal life? So how do you put that perfect balance between the personal and the professional life when you and your mom just being into the business completely? How do you strike the perfect balance? What do you do then?
The perfect balance between my mum and myself is very simple. When we're at work, she is Penny. I call her Penny. We do
Uh-huh.
not refer to ourselves as mum and daughter. In fact, we've had um, students here for a week and they've seen me and Penny interact, and at no point have they even noticed that we're mother and daughter. It's very, very clear. We do not talk about any family matters when we're in the business together. It was all work based. If I
Uh-huh.
have a business question or I need her support or if she needs mine, we phone each other during working hours. And we have been really, really clear on that from the very beginning.
Mhm.
My mum, Penny, actually used to work for her mother, Shirley, my grandma. And so she'd already had this navigation, and it didn't quite go as smoothly as ours. But I think, like I say, she learnt from that, and together, this is the solution we've came up with. And it works really well. So when we're not at work and we're at home and, we're baking cookies with my kids or whatever we might be doing, having a coffee at a garden centre, wherever,
Yeah.
it's not work based. And we literally we drop the work when we leave this building.
Wow. That's just commendable. And I think when you mention about your grandmother, so I can sense this is a legacy which has continued, and you both have built that relationship. Trust me, this is so inspirational to hear, and I'm sure our audience have learned and picked so many things. Is there any closing remark that you would like to give to our audience, or like a golden nugget that you would like to share?
Oh, closing remarks and golden nuggets. Oh, there are so many. I think for me the key is really it is all about the team. Surround yourself with positive people, people who want to be at work with you. And, if they're moaning about their job and they don't want to be with you, help them and encourage them to either move roles within your company or find a job that they are passionate about, because you get so much more out of your team when they love doing what they do, when they enjoy coming to work, and when they get on well as a team. So for me, it really is all about the team. And I know for certain that I would not still be sat here after all these years if we weren't surrounded by such passionate people, who support us and who want to work together for the company as a whole.
Wow, I think you're the first one, or few of those ones, I would rather say, who have, who have given their team an equal space, or I would rather say the equal credit. So I think that's just brilliant, and your team would be so happy to hear this. I feel so sure. So thank you so much, Ellie. It was great meeting you, learning more about your journey. And to everyone watching, I look forward to see you in my next episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you.